His decision was to use those utterly unearned points he was born with for what he considers to be good work. And that, I think, is why he's different from the rest of them, and is why he's worth being called special. In a time of deceit, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. And if the royal family, as we're really recognising today in a way that we rarely do, if the royal family isn't a construct of deceit, universal deceit, the divine right of kings, it's God's will that a king sits in a palace while many of his subjects starve. It's the most epic con job ever, really. And in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Now, that's true of a peasant shouting abuse at the palace gates. For the king's son to be describing it in such terms, or to be coming close to describing it in such terms, is astonishing. And thinking about it may explain the vitriol unleashed on him and his wife even more than her ethnicity. That just became a rather convenient issue around which the usual suspects could gather. That's the point. I mean, Prince Harry could never do anything that shines a light into the silliness, for want of a stronger word, of the royal family compared to what his uncle has done, what Andrew Windsor has done. And yet, we're not capable. And it's scary, you know, even if you find everything I'm saying completely true, you might also balk at the idea of changing anything drastically. It's scary, you know? How many people would want to knock their house down and start again? Very few. It's scary. But days like today just remind you that giving fealty, is that the right word? Fealty? Fealty. It'll never be on Wordle, will it? 6 letters. Fealty, deference, kneeling. Have to curtsy when you meet her. Her own family have to curtsy when they meet her. All of that. I never strike. I just go, that's a bit weird. That's fine though. Yeah. Studied it. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. Been studying it for years. And you stop on days like this and think, look, the mother of this man, if I meet her, I'm supposed to bow. Oh, and then Tony Blair's wife didn't curtsy, so they threw her to the wolves. Tony Blair's wife refused to curtsy when she was at the palace. I think she did. I may have misremembered. And that was the story. Not, we are a country in which you're supposed to bow and curtsy at this person for no reason other than an accident of birth. And on a day like today, it just all falls away, doesn't it? It falls away like peeling paint. And what you're left with, what are you left with? This man's mum is the head of state. She's forking out 12 million quid to silence a woman who's accused him of the worst imaginable crimes, crimes that we know were committed by 2 of his mates, one of whom he was still palling about with after he'd been to prison. Listen, I feel sorry for the Queen in the sense that I would feel sorry for any mother with a son like this. But I don't know that every mother would reach for her purse. It's a bit like Dot Cotton, isn't it? So when Nick Cotton comes around and says, come on, Ma, just another couple of £100. I feel sorry for Dot Cotton in that context. That's the same sort of sympathy that I feel for the Queen today. In fact, it's identical. The sympathy I feel for the Queen in her dealings with Prince Andrew is exactly the same as the sympathy I feel for Dot Cotton when nasty Nick was up to his shenanigans and unpleasantnesses. But at some point, you sort of render or recognise that this is a national issue. It's not a family issue. This is our country. We're always told, oh, we need the royal family. They're such a great figurehead for our country. They're such a great standard bearer for our reputation abroad. And they're such a great catalyst for trade. And hello? McFly? Really?